All right, here we go. Hello, my name is Ed O'Dwyer. I'm the founder of the Society for the Preservation of Irish Soda Bread, and we're expanding into a few other Irish traditions, starting with this one here, all about Shrove Tuesday. So, Shrove Tuesday in the U.S. is celebrated in New Orleans as Fat Tuesday with extravagant parades and king cake. During the 19th century and the early 20th century, the Irish had a different angle on it, but surprisingly with a lot of mischief involved. Let me tell you how getting married, pancakes, and Star Wars Jedi Knights are related to the Irish celebration of Pancake Day. By the way, not only will I tell you about Jedi Knights, but I have an extra surprise at the end of our story. Shrove Tuesday, the Shrove period, is between January 7th and the eve of Ash Wednesday, and it was a traditional time for getting married in Ireland, and matches were made during that time to finalize the engagement and the girl's dowry. If you ever watched The Quiet Man with John Wayne and Maureen O'Hara, you'll know how important the dowry was in that particular scenario, which led to the big climax at the end of the movie. The marriage season ends on Shrove Tuesday, otherwise known as Pancake Day, when everyone prepares for the fasting during Lent by preparing and eating lots of pancakes. Oh, and this is important. No marriages can take place until after Easter. So Shrove Tuesday is the last chance, and there are penalties if you don't make the deadline, as you will soon see. There was also a hint of trick-or-treat on that day. A traditional trick carried out on someone totally unaware is to send that person on a mission to borrow a pancake sieve. Sort of like looking for a left-handed monkey wrench in the U.S., since, like the wrench, there is no such thing as a pancake sieve. Everyone in the village knows about the routine, and when the unfortunate victim comes to the first cottage and asks to borrow it, he's told that it was lent to somebody down the road. And before he goes, he gets a little pinch on the cheek containing soot from the fireplace so that his face is marked before he's sent on his way. When he gets to the next home, the soot gives him away, and they know what to do. It is repeated over and over until the person finally gives up, realizing he has been fooled. Sometimes a group of men will gather at a crossroads. They'll collect donations to get the supplies, borrow a griddle, and spend the evening enjoying their company and eating pancakes until they run out of supplies. And woe betide any bachelor or spinster who has not made plans to marry by Pancake Night. If they get through Pancake Night without marriage, on Sunday, the unmarried have salt thrown at them in order to preserve them until next Pancake Night. On Pancake Night, Pancake Day, the young men of the village will, or might, if they're kinder, I say, decorate the front of a bachelor or a spinster's house with a Stocach. A Stocach is constructed of two pieces of wood with a turnip on top, painted with a face. It supports an old torn jacket with a hat at the top, and it's stuffed with straw. One translation of Stocach is girlfriend, so the person is reminded that they don't have one, and the kind lads of the village graciously provided one until they get one throughout the next year. The unmarried would also be told they have to go to the Skelligs before it's too late. Here comes the Star Wars connection. The Skelligs are islands off the coast of Kerry, where it is said the monastery celebrated Ash Wednesday 2 weeks after the Roman calendar. So by going to the Skelligs, there is still a 2-week window to get married. And as an extra treat, the lads of the village compose a Skelligs List in poetic form to match up the unmarried men and women. Then the pairs would be tied together with sugans, straw ropes, to listen to the poem. Here is a short example of one from 1938. We had on board our gallant bark a crowd of noble dames, tied up in pairs with strong sugans. You'll soon shall hear their names. With a number of smart gentlemen, real coffee ones, you know. To kiss the ladies' tears away, to Skelligs they all did go. We had Reggie so fat, Aggie so lean, and Bridget, Chris, and Kate, and Nora D, and Catherine E, and Debbie out of date, and Catty from the public house, and others of lesser note, We gave them each a nice young man and stowed them in the boat. And it goes on. In Star Wars VII, the Skelligs are featured prominently when Luke Skywalker is located at a Jedi temple on a mysterious island, the Skelligs. It takes some effort to get to the Skelligs, let alone to get up to the monastery. The Skellig Rock, Skellig Mihal, off the mainland in southwest Kerry, is famed as being the place from which St. Brendan the Navigator sailed when he discovered America. At the summit of the rock remains the ruins of the monastery. So, Pancake Day is more than just pancakes in Ireland, or it used to be. Traditions may or may not continue in the small villages today. Now, to top off our story, here's a recipe from a 1938 journal documenting how to make pancakes. Quote, "A ring used to be placed in the pancakes, and whoever got the lucky pancake would be married by next pancake night. It is also said that if a bachelor was able to flip a pancake 3 times in the air without dropping it, he would be married by next pancake night." The way they used to make pancake. First, they used to put about 2 handfuls of flour, roughly 1 cup, into a porringer, small bowl. Put, about 2, a pinch of soda through it, and also a spoonful of sugar. Get about 3/4 of a porringer of milk, roughly 14 ounces. Mix all together with a spoon. A couple of eggs could be added. They used to have a pan hot, and they used to get a bit of butter and rub it on the pan. Then they used to spread this out evenly on the pan. When they would think that it was done, they used to put it on a plate, and they used to rub a bit of butter on each side of it. Then they used to cut it in 4 quarters and leave it there. End of quote. Thanks very much. I look forward to sharing more Irish history with you in upcoming episodes. And until then, slán.